Hi, this is Charlene O'Hanlon, Managing Editor at DevOps.com, coming to you from DevOps World, Jenkins World 2018 in beautiful San Francisco. I am here today with Bob Davis, who is Chief Marketing Officer at Plutora. Bob, thank you very much for taking the time and sitting down with me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Charlene. This is a great opportunity.
Great. So tell us a little bit about Plutora. I guess that's probably the first question to ask.
Good place to start. We get that a lot,
Yeah.
although less perhaps. Plutora is really a platform that is designed to provide the management and control of a software pipeline delivery system from the idea all the way to the value. So we sit on top of the tools that are in the pipeline. We have a rich set of integrations that bring in that data and put it into a common data model, at which point we can orchestrate that pipeline, we can report on it, and we have a rich set of analytics that gives all of the various stakeholders a nice view as to what's going on, where the inefficiencies are, how well things are going, and how can they improve. And that is something that we're actually showcasing at the booth today.
Great. So, judging from what a lot of people are talking about kind of in the space in general and at the show, it seems like there are a lot of similarities between, maybe what CloudBees is talking about and especially when it comes to the whole value stream
Yes.
mapping and management.
Yes,
So,
I think it's really a part of the trend. A year ago, the question was, how can I automate things? How can I buy a tool to push bits into a test environment or into production? Today, it's how do I manage the various silos that have now popped up because of that? How do I get a handle on the entire process? So people are struggling with that. They're struggling with the notion of, I know how to do DevOps. What I don't have as good a handle on is how do I scale it? How do I make it appropriate for a large organization? We sell to Fortune 1000 companies, very large. They have a lot of technical debt. They have a lot of legacy systems. Some are decades old. And so they want to move, but they can't leave that behind. So what kind of a solution can they put together to really manage not just the automated cloud-oriented things, but their legacy stuff and have it available from one UI, one system of record, really. And that's a big challenge, is combining the new movements with cloud and Kubernetes and Docker and everything that's going on there with that legacy and move smoothly forward. That's very difficult for companies.
so how did they do it then?
Well, they're struggling with it. So they need to have they need to have a platform like Plutora that is able to reach deeply into not just the automated processes, but take control of the manual processes. And that's really where Plutora was founded some 6 years ago, to be able to provide what we like to call a flight deck for all the manual processes, so that we can capture what's going on a mainframe, what's going on legacy manual systems and processes, make those look automated, provide automation around the test environments, all the way into the cloud and newer technologies. And that's key. So the platform, our platform in that case, was built with that in mind right from the beginning, to be able to do that. We never really worked on moving bits around in the tool chain. We came right at it from that management layer, and it's worked out well.
So a lot of these companies then that you're working with, I imagine they're not doing DevOps enterprise-wide yet. They're doing, piecemeal
Correct.
implementations. So how do you get them from that point A to point B where they've seen the success, they know what DevOps can do for them, taking it more on that larger scale? How do you help them get there?
Well, our founders came from that space. They were CIOs and CTOs in the banking industry, and were struggling with this very thing. So they had a sense of the management and really the cultural things that would drive companies and got them where they were. So we work with companies almost on a consulting basis. We're not a service company, but we'll sit and work with them on how their processes are set up, how they can move off spreadsheets. So we have small steps. You use spreadsheets to do release orchestration. We can get rid of those pretty quickly. So let's do that first. Now let's bring in some of your CI/CD tools and bring that data in. Now let's show some more advanced reporting so you can go to your management and sell upward. One of the big questions that CIOs have is it working? I've spent millions of dollars on tools, but I really don't know if it's working. I don't know if what's releasing is what I set out to release, whether it's on a time basis or a feature scope basis, let alone whether it's adding the value to the business. So we start to show people how you can start to see that value, and it generates really a firestorm of momentum, and people get pretty excited. So it's about the ability to visualize and control and really manage the process from the, like I said, from that idea to cash, that orchestration. And that's what people are struggling with, and we help them and we show them piece by piece, step by step, how they can get there, and it works. It used to take quite long as people were just putting their toe in the water. Now we have people coming in and asking for it by name. They're asking for a single system of record for IT. They know that should exist, so it's getting a little easier because their motivation is they can see the finish line. They just don't know how to get there. So they're very open to it. There's a lot of education, and people like CloudBees with the keynotes today when Sasha was going through some of their points of vision. That's very helpful to us because it helps educate the market that these things are possible. And when that starts to really show up, rising tide floats all boats, all those kinds of great comments, and that's what we're seeing, and it's really coming alive now, and we see it at the show floor. It's incredibly busy. The questions are much more informed than they were last year. I think it's working, so it's an exciting time to be in the business.
Great. Well, I imagine that as the enthusiasm continues to grow, the DevOps implementations become faster and embraced by larger groups at a time. So.
Absolutely. I mean, it's funny. They don't, we talk about these new technologies, and this group might be a little bit ahead of the curve. You've got a lot of very strong DevOps engineers and DevOps people that are steeped in it. In the real world, where you have these large organizations, you don't have quite that level of understanding. So it's terrific to see that starting to turn around. It's great.
Excellent. Well, Bob, thank you again for your time. We really do appreciate it. Hope you have a great show.
Thank you very much, Charlene. It was a great opportunity. Good to see you again.
Great to see you.